exciting edition of Bucks Live is presented by Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin, getting revenge on their rivals as the Bucks wrap up a regular season series with the Pacers with a 126-119 victory, securing the season series 3-1. Pascal Siakam made it difficult for the Milwaukee Bucks, namely in the second quarter, pacing these Pacers with 17 of his 26 points coming in that second frame alone. But a big third quarter for Milwaukee, led by Dame Time and company, helped them build a double-digit lead that they wouldn't give away until the closing minutes after Giannis Antetokounmpo would foul out after a 34-10-7 game. But Milwaukee's greatest showman living up to the name. 34 for Giannis Antetokounmpo. From the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk, Stephen Watson and Steve Novak, who just wrapped up calling this game. And Steve, it's appointment television when these two teams take the floor. Another great chapter in this rivalry. Bucks can breathe easy, as can we, watching this game. Great entertainment, and the Bucks wrap up with a series win.
Yeah, it really was. And look, this was an important game. You realize the implications of it, and obviously you won't really know until the end of the season. But right now, as they sit seeding-wise, it was number 4 and number 5 with the exact same record. And so when you go head-to-head with a team like this and you have an opportunity to really get that full one-game split, you realize Detroit is sitting right there at the 6th spot as well, and the Bucks don't play them again until the last 2 games of the season. So the Bucks really are in control of their destiny a little bit, especially with the teams that are going to affect their seeding. And it would be nice to have home court. It'd be nice to beat up on these Pacers, and it would have been nice to sweep these guys and beat them all 4, but 3 out of 4 is all right since Tyrese Halliburton hit that game winner on Tuesday. But like you said, some really entertaining basketball in this matchup.
Yeah, and it came down to the closing minutes after the Bucks were able to build a double-digit lead. But our Menard's big money moment was that third quarter that really gave the Bucks the breathing room they would need in this game, Steve.
Yeah, they did. And this was a huge quarter coming out of the half and being able to respond with a 35-22 third quarter. It was Giannis with 14 huge points in that quarter. And look, the ball was moving. A lot of guys involved, and you just realize, look, to hold a lead for a 48-minute game, you're going to have a lot of different guys making shots and continuing to maintain some of the offense that was popping in that first half. And so huge credit to this Bucks team, I think, to recognize this was a Pacers team that was on a back-to-back playing Philly, winning 112-100 just last night. They would hopefully wear down. They would hopefully start to miss shots and not have the energy. I'm not sure they really ever showed that, but if there was a time in this game, it was that third quarter when Milwaukee was able to take over, and that's not to take, I think, the credit away from the offense that was being played by the Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks going plus 13 in that third quarter. Damian Lillard, a big reason why. He's standing by with Melanie Ricks.
Hey, Dame, congratulations on the win. This was a big one for you guys. You won the regular season series. How did it feel?
It felt great. I mean, we feel like our last game in Indiana, we didn't play our best game, but we had a lead, coming into the last seconds, and we made a couple mistakes that cost us a game. So we knew tonight was extremely important with them being so close to us in the standings. And then the season series was on the line. So it was a huge night for us, and I was just, happy that we came out with the win.
Well, and Giannis, he fouled out with just under 3 to play. Can you talk about the late game heroics, especially from your guy, Taurean Prince?
I mean, we're a veteran team, and I think, Giannis is obviously the head of our team, our best player. But in situations like that, you got to be able to depend on the next guy. And I thought TP making big free throws, getting deflections, one of our last offensive possessions, Kuz kept the ball alive 2 or 3 different times. A lot of time came off the clock. And you're not going to be able to replace Giannis, but you got to have guys come in and make winning plays. And I thought we did that down the stretch.
Well, and a lot of great balance scoring for you guys. Can you talk about your bench's efforts as well?
Every good team, they depend on that bench. Your bench got to come in and impact the game. And I thought tonight, both stretches with our bench, we increased our lead. And against a team like this, where they bench usually is dominating other teams' bench, we had to step it up, and tonight we did.
Congrats, Dame. Thank you.
Thank you.
Damian Lillard, one of 6 Bucks in double figures tonight. He finishes with 25 points, 10 rebounds, his 3rd straight double-double, Steve.
And it's been beautiful basketball to watch. And I think just the ease that he's hitting some of these shots. I mean, you look at where he's shooting it from, and you can tell the defense doesn't even think or respect that he's going to let it go. But this is one of the greatest hit-point shooters in NBA history. The volume that he's made him at, and obviously the degree of difficulty, and you're able to see that on full display tonight. But some of these double-doubles as of late have been really fun to watch.
Yeah, second time this year, Dame had 3 consecutive double-doubles. It usually comes points and assists. Tonight it was 10 rebounds for Damian Lillard. The main thing that stands out, you watch this game, he made 172 feet worth of three-pointers tonight. 6 threes, and he averaged 28.5 feet from long range.
Well, to put that in perspective, right, 28.5 feet on an average three-pointer. The NBA three-point line, especially up where he's making them above the break, is 23 feet, 9 inches. So this guy's shooting 4, 5, 6, sometimes 7, 8 feet away from the NBA three-point line. In the corners, where it's closest to the basket, it's only 22 feet. Dame has no interest in that. He wants to shoot it from as far away as he possibly can. But I guess since he's making up 6 three-pointers tonight, God bless him. Keep shooting it. The defense wasn't ready for it, and he clearly is good at it. So it's fun to watch when Dame is in rhythm and he's making those shots. And it's also amazing to see how easy it is to win games when you got a guy who can make shots from absolutely anywhere, just always able to keep a team, even that like Indiana, who got hot at Bay.
All right, Coach Novak, you want to be a little closer to the three-point line, all right? Like the little kids watching, you don't need to shoot from 30 feet, right?
Yeah, Dame is kind of special. You know, we get to watch Steph shoot it like that and Dame, but I'll be honest, there's just not that many guys that have the ability to shoot it from that far away at any degree of consistency where it's allowed. Most kids, you know, like you're saying, if they're shooting from there, they're probably airballing a few. Dame, he was making them.
Still counts for 3 if you're 24 feet away.
That's right. No matter how far back you go, it's still just 3.
That's what I'm saying. Talking double-doubles, how about Giannis Antetokounmpo with 34 points and 10 rebounds, 7 assists for the Greek Freak. Fouled out of this game, Steve, but his 29, 30-point double-double, that's 10 more than anybody else in the NBA.
You know, that really is impressive. It shows the kind of dominance that Giannis plays with every single night to be able to put up those numbers that consistently. And speaking of dominance, when you go 14 for 19 from the field and a beautiful 6 for 6 from the free throw line, it was on full display, his level of dominance, how good he really is. There's just no one on that Pacer team that can individually guard him, and they've got some really big bodies that are really good defenders in Pascal Siakam and Miles Turner and guys that were putting their chests on him the best they possibly could. And you weren't sure he was going to even miss a shot tonight for a certain span of time. And so, you know, I think you do start to take it a bit for granted, that level of I'm going to get where I want to go, I'm going to do what I want to do. And it just felt like Giannis could have probably shot 15, 20 more times and would have still shot 80% from the field because the mid-range was going as well. So awesome game. Too bad he had to foul out. Didn't think that 6-1 was a foul, but still got the win.
He's had some pretty incredible stat lines against the Indiana Pacers. In 4 games this year, he averaged 30, 12, and 8. That'll lead to a lot of wins. We saw that this year from the Milwaukee Bucks. Still to come here on Bucks Live. KPJ making the show. And how about the Prince? It's coming up next. Bucks win 126-119 tonight against the Indiana Pacers. Taurean Prince doing it on both ends of the floor for Milwaukee. Steve, he had 14 points, but a career-high 5 steals tonight.
Yeah, and it was felt. The impact was right from the start of the game. He comes out getting deflections, getting steals, picking up full court, and really just being in the right spot at the right time, which usually you keep doing that enough, and it's not a coincidence. You just know how to get those deflections, how to get in those passing lanes. And so he just showed, I think, exactly who he is to this team. He got great spacing, got to the corners, gave his stars a lot of room when the ball came to him. He knocked some big shots now, but like you said, the defense and getting those steals, 5 of them, was fun.
Steve Novak, Stephen Watson here at the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. One more thing about Taurean Prince. In the previous 10 games before tonight, he shot 1 free throw. Tonight, he was 4 for 4 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That's some clutch shooting in a big spot for a guy who doesn't do it very often, Steve.
Yeah, and it just shows, I think, too, that he's a veteran guy. He knows when he's out there, he's got that calm, and he's a good free throw shooter. But to your point, in the fourth quarter, when you've been called upon, you got to make those against a surging Indiana team that's looking like they just might make another crazy comeback happen. Sure is nice to have guys like that.
Another guy who knocked down a couple of big free throws late, Kevin Porter Jr. We talked about him, feels like every single night. The impact he has off the bench for Milwaukee, 16 points, Steve, 11 of them coming in the second half.
Yeah, just looking at, in just about 19 minutes, 16 points. It's his efficiency, his ability to put up these kind of numbers in limited minutes. And you're seeing Doc allow him to run point when there's guys like Giannis, Dame out there. And because he understands he can be featured and he can attack and he can look for his own shot and score a ton. But there's other times where he just does a great job of flipping the switch. And I think understanding, hey, I'm out here with Giannis. I'm out here with Dame. I'm out here with other guys, and facilitates and does a great job of being a playmaker. And so it's just cool to see that the scoring that he's able to put up is when he's calling his own number and he's on the attack and he sees those opportunities. But more than anything, I think I think just the presence that he's continued to have to look for other guys to assist and to make sure the guys that are out there with him are having success has been very clear.
He was plus 17 off the bench for Milwaukee. Gary Trent Jr. plus 28. Lead the Bucks here tonight off the bench. Big bench production from Milwaukee, helping them to a win over the Pacers. Doc Rivers, 126-119, the final tonight in Milwaukee. Game 2 of a 3-game homestand for the Milwaukee Bucks. They're back here tomorrow night against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And our Havish and Rotier numbers that matter. How about this balanced scoring from the Milwaukee Bucks? Of course, number 34 finishes with 34. 6 different Bucks in double figures in this game. Kyle Kuzma also chipping in with a great balance and some of those key names. Kevin Porter Jr., Gary Trent Jr., double figures off the bench for Milwaukee. They outscored the Pacers from the bench production 33-18 in this game. Let's head into the locker room here from head coach Doc Rivers.
He was great, stayed aggressive. I told him there's a line, like staying aggressive and taking care of the ball. I thought as a group we forced it a little bit in stretches, but whenever we didn't, we got whatever we wanted. I thought when Giannis played that way aggressively, plus involving guys and rolling, we were special. I mean, we shot 54%, but we turned the ball over too much.
I was going to say, what type of discipline does it take against the Pacers? Since they're going to keep running at you and they're going to keep scoring.
Yeah, you just got to keep getting back. I thought we lost our discipline a little bit in the fourth. Once we got the big lead, I thought it doesn't take what you learn playing them. It doesn't take but one guy not to, because the way they push the ball up the floor, if one guy doesn't get back, then if someone gets broken down, then the chain of events happen and they end up with a 3. I haven't watched the film yet, but I got a feeling I'm going to see a lot of that 8 minutes and under. I thought we got tired tonight for sure, and so that's a little bit of concern. Like our conditioning may have to take a jump up a little bit.
I think it was about 3 fouls in 90 seconds for Giannis, all on drives. Were they telling you anything specific about what he was doing?
The one I thought was a block because the guy had his feet up, but we didn't have a challenge. So, so that one hurt us. The last one, I thought the guy just dove into his body because, they clearly were trying to draw the foul. And I was surprised they called it. They usually don't call that foul, but they did. And, when you get 5 fouls, anything can happen, and basically that's what happened.
Steve.
Just how important was Prince down the stretch, getting that 3 in those free throws?
Yeah, he was great. I think where he was really great was defensively. He pitched. I tell you, in the 2 games against Indiana, he's had 2 great defensive nights for us. It's nice when you have that, plus the guy can really shoot the ball. That helps.
And just playing the last few minutes without Giannis, obviously you don't want to be in that situation.
Yeah, I didn't like how we didn't take care of the ball. I didn't like what we ran, honestly, and that's on me. We got to run better stuff. I thought a lot of it was fatigue. We didn't space the floor very well. So we'll work on that for sure.
What does it mean to you to win the tiebreaker? And also, you guys lost 3, and then now you've won 2. I don't know what else you look at a game like this. Maybe the rebounding, which is really solid.
Yeah, rebounding and turnovers. Same thing. Like if we take care of the ball, we won all 4 games. And it's literally that simple.
Doc, you're back above your season average for assists. I think 28.
Yeah.
It seems like 3 games in a row now.
Yeah.
After your 2 losses last weekend with 17 each. Just what does that tell you, and how much of a point of emphasis is that?
Same thing it tells you, but I tell you, our 3 practices, all it's been is about spacing, passing, spacing, passing. Right? We didn't even really run our sets. We got into the sets and we talked about where everyone should be. And we had so many good places where we slid, space, got a shot, slid, space, someone dove, scoop, back cuts. And we passed it, There were times, honestly, tonight I thought the ball stuck, and in those times is when they made their runs. So the evidence for us is there. We just got to keep doing it, and I want to get to a point where it's a 48-minute game of that.
I just wanted to ask what went into the challenge call over at that out-of-bounds play.
Yeah, I never know. I always turn. our guy saw it. He's been pretty good this year. I still think he won the one in Indiana, even though he lost it. I'm still looking for the foul. And this one was just a bad one. And one of our rules is you got to be 100%. He thought he was 100%. He's been more good than bad, so I can live with him making a mistake.
KPJ.
All right, that's head coach Doc Rivers. Quick turnaround for Milwaukee as the top team in the West heads to Fiserv Forum tomorrow night. We'll preview Thunder Bucks coming up. Bucks beat the Pacers tonight, 126-119, wrapping up their regular season series. They're right back at it tomorrow night against the top team in the West. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, these are his points tonight against Detroit. They're also going to be on the second game of a back-to-back as they head to Fiserv Forum. And SGA, Steve, leading the NBA in scoring. It was his 12th 40-point game this season. That's the most among players in the league.
Yes, he is definitely filling it up. As you said, this is just tonight the 48 points. He makes all of his free throws. He gets to the spots that he wants. I think he had 21 points in the first quarter. The last time the Bucks matched up with these guys, now the Bucks had a bunch of guys out, Giannis, Dame, others. So it should be a very different matchup. But there is no question, this is an OKC team that is hot. And they really have been all season long. The number 2 record in the league, number 1 in the West, just behind Cleveland. And well, just seeing on full display just some of the stuff that he can do. And so, great opportunity for Milwaukee, I think, as this is post-All-Star. Milwaukee has been playing some really good basketball. They're a different team than they were earlier in the year. Obviously, very different than the last time they matched up with OKC in a 29-point loss. And so, there's no question. This is a great opportunity for Milwaukee to come out and show a little bit of who they are now, see what OKC looks like. Because, look, this Bucks team, I believe they are a true contender. They're a team that can come out of the East, and this may very well be the team that they have to face. And so, great opportunity to face these guys at this point in the year.
And don't forget, when they were both at pretty much full strength, the Bucks beat them in the championship of the NBA Cup in Vegas by a final of 97-81. So we'll see as the top 2 scorers in the NBA, Giannis and SGA, set to square off here tomorrow night as the Thunder come to take on the Milwaukee Bucks. Tonight, it was a 126-119 win over Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers as the Bucks wrap up the regular season series with a 3-1 edge over the Pacers. Getting a little revenge could mean something come playoff time. We'll wait and see. But we're back here tomorrow night, Bucks Live at 7:30. Have a good night, everyone.